kind of prepare yourself for that.
Preparation has been the order of the day on the base.
We're trying to work with everybody in terms of getting powers of attorney, wills, working with family support type issues.
Put me on guard.
Members are doing everything from getting new IDs made
1, 2, 3.
to putting their finances in order to making sure the KC-135 refueling tankers are ready for their long journey across the Atlantic.
Those gentlemen currently are putting a truck assembly on a left main landing gear. Once they finish, we'll take this airplane outside, run the engine, finish some operational checks on the avionics systems, and then give the airplane to flight line and fly.
These Wisconsin-based specialists, mechanics, and pilots say they and their flight line are ready to go. Grant Rampey, Fox News.
Okay, we are coming up now in the noon hour here on the East Coast, and that'll do it for me for this hour of our special coverage on the conflict in Kosovo and the Littleton tragedy. But I'll see you again at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. But taking you to the next hour of Fox News now, let's turn it over to David Asman. David?
Okay, Uma, thanks very much. And coming up on Fox News now, a Jesse Jackson mercy mission. Will the religious leader come home with our POWs, or will he leave Yugoslavia empty-handed? NATO enters the final phase of bombing, and diplomacy may once again become an option. We're going to have the details on that. Plus, the president intensifies economic sanctions against Yugoslavia, and unconfirmed reports from Serbia that a NATO bomb went astray once again and killed 23 civilians on a bus. We begin our coverage with Julie Kurtz, who's standing by at the Pentagon. Hi, Julie.
How you doing, David? Well, in a few moments, the Pentagon will hold a briefing here with Ken Bacon, the spokesman. Will give us an update on the military operation in Kosovo. Of course, we already learned from the NATO briefing that there were 600 sorties today over Yugoslavia. I think they're beginning the briefing right now.
Extremely active day, most active to date. Hit a broad range of both strategic and tactical targets, and he'll go through that in some detail. On the humanitarian side, I have two announcements, both dealing with refugees. The first is that the processing point for the refugees we're bringing from Macedonia, as you know, is Fort Dix, New Jersey. We've set up a task force there. It's headed by Brigadier General Mitchell Zais, Z-A-I-S, and they have been meeting all morning to get organized. This is going to be under the command of the Department of Health and Human Services. They're running the operation, but there'll be about 500 soldiers up there to assist in various ways. And they believe that they'll have the first group of refugees there on Tuesday. There is a public information officer up there. He's well known to you. He's Colonel John Smith, and I thought I had his number, but I've forgotten it, but we can get it for you. I'm sorry, I do have it, 609-562-4034, if you want to get in contact with him about the refugee operation, and if you want to arrange to cover it or have your news organizations cover the first arrival. Second, last week, Lieutenant General McDuffie briefed you on Camp America, which is the camp we're constructing for 20,000 refugees in Albania, in the town of Fir, which is 30 kilometers southwest of Tirana. That camp, the contract has been let for the construction. Construction should begin very soon, and we expect the first 2,500 refugees there in 8 to 10 days. This will have it'll basically be two refugee villages separated by a road, and then there'll be a third village built in the area after we finish the first two to house these 20,000. And with that, I'll turn it over to Major General Walsh.
Good afternoon. The weather, as we've briefed over the last couple of days, has improved markedly, and today it's also good weather, and looks like it'll be that way for the next couple of days. Maybe a little bit of a lull toward Monday and then back up toward the early part of next week. And the combination of the weather and the campaign as it's going now has given us the, as Mr. Bacon mentioned a minute ago, the best day of bombing we've had since the start of the campaign. Last night on day 38, there were 31 different fixed targets struck throughout Kosovo and the Fry itself. A lot of command and control, some in the southern part as well as the lines of communication bridges, more of the POL storage, and some of their RAD-RELs as well as some of the fielded forces. That 31 fixed targets, you could add another 40 targets that were struck to that, so there were over 70 last night, and I'll talk through how that works in just a moment. The targeting itself that sometimes there's a little confusion on. The targeting itself are pre-identified targets. That was the 31 targets I mentioned a moment ago. We've had days where we've had more than 31, some less than 31, depending upon weather. But there are also engagement areas. We've talked about the Kosovo engagement area before. There are engagement areas where we're focusing more of our effort on areas that may have more of the Serb VJ forces in them. And we also have quick response options for targets that may pop up via different means of finding those targets or identifying those. And those aircraft could be holding on a tanker outside the area waiting for that target to pop up or occur. They could be on the ground, aircraft waiting on alert, or they could be aircraft that are diverted from another area.
We are going to break out of this. We are going to break out of this Pentagon press conference because our Rita Cosby, who's been following Jesse Jackson around on his mercy mission in Belgrade, has some breaking news from Belgrade right now. Rita Cosby, you're on.
Yes, I am happy to report to you that the hostages, the POWs that are being held by Serb forces, are being released.
Wow.
We have just gotten word. Jesse Jackson just walked by and he gave me the thumbs up and said that he has gotten word from Milosevic that the 3 POWs who have been held captive here for a month will be released.
Incredible.
I can tell you this is an extremely emotional time. Tears of joy from people here. I'm standing right next to a number of members, a number of people. Jack, what is your emotion? Jack, this is Jack, who is a Baptist minister. You came along with Methodist minister. What is your reaction?
Just overwhelmed with emotion. So joyful. This is just wonderful. God is good. Thank you.
This is a Methodist minister. That was Jack. He is part of the religious delegation. He has just gotten word. Hugs and kisses are going around to Jesse Jackson right now. Everybody is crying. They have worked so hard for the past few days. And again, the big headline, Jesse Jackson has just found out that the POWs who have been held captive for a month here are being released. Being released.
Rita, this is extraordinary news. We don't want to be jerked around, of course, emotionally by Milosevic. There's always the fear
Wait,
that...
John, I'm going to break in one moment because I think we're going to get a comment from Jesse Jackson right now. Miss Jesse, what is your reaction?
I don't know exactly.
Actually, excuse me one moment. He is actually walking by. Jesse Jackson is extremely emotional. Jesse Jackson is gathering emotions right now. He is just about to cry. This is extremely emotional. He is being comforted by his staff. They're putting their hands on his shoulders, saying, congratulations, you did it. He is praying right now, and I think just a lot of people are here are really at a loss for words. Could you give us your name and also your role here? You came with a religious delegation.
Yes, my name is Father Irine Dubrijevic, and I'm here with the religious delegation. We're overwhelmed as we all are. I told the soldiers earlier today of His Holiness Patriarch Pavel of the Serbian Church and our Council of Bishops in America that also intervened for their release, and we thank God.
What do you think made the difference? Today, obviously, it was really hit or miss, and in fact, this morning it seemed pessimistic this would happen. What changed it?
Well, obviously, our prayers to God, I think, made a big difference, and the hope of peace for everybody, so that everybody may have peace.
What was it like? You were able to meet with the POWs. What was it like seeing them face to face?
Well, it was extremely emotional. Obviously, we were all overwhelmed. We were able to pray with them, to be with them. And I wanted them to understand that the Serbian people have nothing against them, and that they should not hold anything in their heart against the Serbian people as well, for which they were grateful.
Were you able to attend the meeting with Milosevic? I know only a few members of the delegation. You were not. Having been here in the country for the past few days, having met some of the Serbian people, do you think that this now is the first step towards peace?
We all certainly pray that it is. We need peace on all sides, and this obviously can be one of the bridge-building designs towards peace.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We also have another member of the delegation, Jack Meadows, a Methodist minister who we talked with a moment ago. What is it like? You look extremely emotional.
We're deeply grateful. We're overwhelmed. This was our mission. This is why we came. And we are so thankful to Reverend Jackson, to everyone who has made this possible.
God is good.
You were able to meet with the POWs earlier today. What went through your mind when you saw them?
That was emotional too. They were so young. We were confident then that something good was going to happen. We didn't know, but we were very hopeful, and they were hopeful too. They're in good spirits. Their attitude is good. This is just a marvelous moment, a miracle.
Jack Meadows, thank you so much. I'm joined now by Dr. Joan Campbell. She is the head of the National Organization for Churches. Joan, you organized this mission with Reverend Jesse Jackson. Congratulations, first of all. What is going through your mind at this just dramatic moment in history?
We wept when we heard it. We just wept. I mean, it's unbelievable. And I can't even do it. Just gratefulness to God. It's Reverend Jackson's announcement to make. I want him to be able to make the full announcement.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. In fact, John, I'm walking right over now. Reverend Jesse Jackson will be here shortly. But I first want to introduce Congressman Rod Blagojevich. He was extremely helpful. He is the only House member with Serb ancestry. You were vital to this mission. You really initiated this mission with Dr. Joan Campbell and also Reverend Jesse Jackson. Congratulations. And first of all, what made the difference?
Well, I think it was a combination of a lot of factors. I think certainly Reverend Jackson's presence was significant and essential. He's got a proven track record in matters like this. He's done it again. The fact that we had other leading clerics from the United States who moral voices was helpful. And I think the fact that my father came from here and it was my first trip to the place my dad came from, the fact that I speak the language a little, I think that combination was a good combination. We've had several meetings since we've been here, culminated with the one we finally had with President Milosevic today at 11:30, and we had about a 3-hour meeting, and that was good, and we finally got the word, and it was just a great effort.
Can you tell us how you were told the information? You were in the meeting when the foreign minister announced the news. Tell us how he said it, how he presented it, and the reaction.
Okay, this is Reverend's announcement. Yeah. This is Reverend's announcement.
Actually, we're getting pulled away. We have to apologize. The Reverend Jesse Jackson is going to be pulled up to the microphone soon. They are just prepping him, and I can just tell you at this moment, Jesse Jackson is in absolute tears. He is being comforted by his staff. They are just weeping. I will tell you, John, that it was just an incredible moment this morning. We were talking to Reverend Jesse Jackson. He told me personally, Rita, I do not think this is going to happen. I came here, I've been praying for this, and I think we're going to go home empty-handed. Milosevic is not going to be giving us anything. He is going to be cagey in this meeting, and this meeting will probably only last about 15, 20 minutes. He will probably give up nothing, and we will get nothing back. So this is actually a very big surprise. The big turnaround came after he had the meeting with the foreign minister, which didn't appear to have any headway. Then he had the meeting with Yugoslav leader Slobodan Milosevic. That meeting lasted